Welcome to another episode of the Wild Mom podcast. I am so excited about this interview because I have my amazing wild mama. She is my business coach. She is my other mystic mamas, and she is an amazing leader for moms to bring in wealth in their family, for moms to live that abundant life. So, welcome, Petia, to the Wild Mom podcast.
I am so excited to be here, and I just love how you always listen to your intuition and create what is coming through. Like being wild mama. I mean, I've been witnessing your journey since the very beginning. We met when we were both pregnant. Like, how wild was that? Uh-huh. Then her due date was on my birthday. I mean, Maya, she decided to come on Cinco de Mayo, of course. Like she was like, hey, I'll be a little bit more special than your birthday, Petia. But it's just there has been such a beautiful connection, and then just witnessing you how you are really stepping into your mystic mama era and changing other mamas lives. I loved taking all of your courses up until now, and it has been so beautiful and transformational, and I feel like so many more mamas need to see that we're not the only one, that we are not. It's so funny. It's not like I want to say we're better and they're worse because they have different beliefs,
Mhm.
but it's just really fascinating to me to look at us and we're like, oh, we're the crazy ones. I'm like, the world is crazy because we are doing it the right way. We're co-sleeping, we're breastfeeding, we're doing things, as much naturally as possible as we can. And so just like really seeing you, how you're stepping into that and how motherhood, it's really changing us on several level. I would never think how much motherhood will change me as a business coach, and how I also, follow my intuition and what I'm creating, what I'm doing. So I feel like our babies are so much more evolved than we were. And they're like, we are not going to be dealing with the BS that you did, mamas.
Yes.
So it's beautiful.
Well, I feel like that was more of a you welcoming me than me welcoming you, but I want to really highlight the amazing work that you are doing. And you mentioned something that is so true, that our babies really change us. And so I want to hear more about your journey into doing the amazing work that you're doing of helping women and now helping moms to create that abundant life. How did that change for you and evolve since you had your little one?
And I feel like it really changed even before I had her, because I feel like I was preparing for pregnancy for even before I was pregnant. And then when we experienced our first pregnancy and the loss, like a lot of things shifted within me. Like, how do I want to live? How do I want to lead? How do I want to do my business? And also just like really seeing how much I value my energy and time and boundaries. And
Mhm.
then when Sophia came in, my little daughter, who is now 10 months,
So exciting.
she's definitely a wild one. She could be in this group and nobody would know she's not. She's definitely one mini me. And I feel like when she was born, one, I got even more intuitive, even more unapologetic. I'm all about being unapologetic. My podcast, Unapologetically Abundant.
Yes.
However, by having her, I step even more into, I don't have time to waste time. I
Yeah.
don't have time to people please. I don't have time to, and also this is something that I had to learn, Emily. I don't have time to be criticizing others. That was a hard one for me, like not to criticize and judge. And even if it wasn't publicly, my husband had to hear it all and he got tired too. When I saw mamas who are choosing differently, who are choosing things that are not holistic and choosing things that I feel that can have lifetime consequences for their babies, it just really broke my heart. And I had to just really focus on my journey. I'm like, I get to do me.
Yeah.
I get to be unapologetic about what do I want to create, how I want to do it. And sometimes it doesn't even make sense, Emily. And I know you can very deeply resonate. Like, why am I supposed to do a mini course? Why am I supposed to do course next week? Why am I supposed to raise my prices? And it's just like we say why, but we go and do it anyway.
Yeah.
And this is something that motherhood also taught me. Also, that we are not going to be always feeling the high vibe like we used to be for being pregnant. Like, hello, sleepless night. I haven't slept at all this night. Nothing at all. Like
Same,
Sophia was up every 30 minutes, screaming, crying. And I was just going through my mental check. I was like, oh, I didn't balance her chakras before we went to sleep. Oh, I didn't cleanse her energy. And we had nanny in our house, and I normally cleanse her energy every night. But what happened yesterday, I put essential oil on her. I put chamomile oil on her, and she fell asleep on my boob like this, like her hand on me, her feet on me, like all over me, and I couldn't move. And then I don't even know, like maybe half an hour later, my back started to hurt, my leg was getting numb. I'm like, I gotta pee. So I moved just a tiny bit, and she woke up crying. And then we were like that the whole night. I'm like, damn it. So even when I have nights like that, I feel like, one, I give myself permission to do what I can do. I don't have to do it all. And also, like, understanding that I have already created a momentum. So it's not like, oh, today I have a day off or I have an off week. It's
yeah,
not bad. What I can do, it's what I will do. And that's it.
yeah.
But yesterday I was tired, and I'm like, screw it. I will be always tired. I haven't slept for 2 years. This is me not sleeping 2 years. Okay.
Look great.
It's the window light. It's the wise mama lifestyle, that's what it is. So, and I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I got a download, and I told you about it, to create a mini course on magnetic mama mini course. And I
Yeah,
got the download and everything and what's included and stuff. And I'm like, I'm tired. I cannot sit in front of my computer and telling mamas to be magnetic when I'm feeling like crap. And then yesterday, I'm like, you know what? I got this idea on my heart for a reason. I will never feel like perfect, energized bunny. Forget it. Maybe after I raised all of my kids,
yeah,
and then I will become grandma and we are all over again, probably. Um, but I'm like, you know what? I just gotta do what I gotta do. And it's really progress over perfection. And we have to remember it as mamas. Like yesterday, Sophia was with her nanny for a couple hours, and I'm like, that's when I will do the course. And I sat down and recorded 5 videos, and I just get to do breath work and meditation, but it's done, and I'm launching it next week, and that's it.
yeah. And I love everything you've said. There's so many little gems there that I want to come back to. The judgment piece, I think, is so huge because as and again, you're in that wild mom, mystic mama space, you see from a higher perspective, right? Our focus is more than just hitting those physical milestones, right?
Mhm.
It's protecting them and encouraging them to grow on a spiritual level and releasing that judgment when you see, moms walking down the street smoking a cigarette, or if you see like the sleep training, all that stuff is, I've been there. I feel you on letting go of that judgment because you see that higher perspective. And something that you said that I think is so important to talk about is that you have to really change how you see yourself and how you see business. I know for myself, before I started working with you, I was so much in that masculine space of doing business. It was wake up in the morning, I'm doing work from like 8 to sometimes like 11 p.m. I don't even know how I could fill in all that time because since working with you, I now only work 2 to 3 hours a day. And that's something that I took out of your book because I heard you say that and I was like, well, that's what I want. I don't want to be spending all my time away from my daughter. I want to be taking that time to play with her, to watch her grow, to send her healing, to bring her into my world. And now that I'm only working 2, 3 hours a day, being able to see the things that I'm doing are impacting her, like when I'm doing my Eden method or EFT tapping, now she taps along with me because she sees that this is how you live. And so it's like if I was working all day, I would have someone else raise her. And that's not the way that I want to raise my daughter, but I also want to have that business where I can support my family. So what are some of the ways that we can shift from that masculine space of doing business that again so many women have been kind of pulled under the tide of to coming to a place of that divine feminine where you're open to receive.
So beautiful. And I love that so much. And I'm celebrating you so much because it's so interesting. Like, we are taught one way, like you have to work hard and it has to be like hustling, it has to be so many hours. And I had to really lean in and learn to, and I know it sounds funny, but really to marry the masculine and the feminine, because I was most of my life in the masculine energy so much, right? And then I'm like, no, masculine sucks, I'll be feminine. And then I didn't get anything done because, feminine, it's powerful, it's fierce, but also it's chaotic. She doesn't follow plans, she doesn't follow schedules. She's like,
Yeah, the light and
like, here
shadow
I
aspect.
am. Yes.
Yeah.
And so I had to, like, in my business to really make it successful. And, like each and every one of us will define success differently. For me, successful business is I make 5 and multiple 5-figure months while I'm all day with my daughter.
Mhm.
Like you, and then one more interview, it's all I do today. That's
Yeah,
my work, you know what I mean? So I am done in an hour, and when she naps, I'll do my posts, I'll do my engagement, and I will do my messages. I am the mama who builds a business in a naps.
that's what
And
I do now.
to get into that more feminine, it's something that I'm also teaching in the mini course, the magnetic mama mini course, because we get to really get back into movement. Movement, I see it as a two pieces. One piece, when you look at it, we get to be moving our body to reconnect to the feminine. And I know you're doing it so beautifully. You do the aesthetic dance, you're moving your body, you're doing Kundalini, you're moving. That is beautiful. But that it's more of the head and mind logical, right? What I love doing is also bringing one, I love doing somatic work. That's why I am certified breathwork practitioner. I absolutely love breathwork because it can go so much deep and it's just like it cracks you open. To me, it's priceless. It's the favorite modality and tool that my clients love using with me. And it's just so powerful. So
I
that's
did your
one.
breath work in your course, and oh my God, it was such a releasing moment. So I attest to that as well.
Thank you. And then for the releasing, also breath work, but also reconnecting to your emotions, moving the emotions out of the body.
Mhm.
And yes, you can kind of do it with the physical, if you're doing workout, you go on a walk or something, moving through the emotions. But something that I'm teaching my clients is moving through the emotions depending on how you're feeling. So let's say, for example, you wake up and you're really frustrated because you're like, I did all the work, I did the chakra balancing, and I gave her this, and I
I
gave her
still
that,
didn't sleep.
and I did it all. Why didn't she sleep? Like this shit should be working
Yeah.
100%, right? And then we get in our head imposter syndrome, right? Like, been there, done that. I can do it too. But we get in our heads. So let's say that frustration comes up. So instead of being in that frustration and just brushing it off and say like, oh, like, not a big deal, I don't care, feel the emotion, play a music, close your eyes, what that frustration wants to be expressed like in your body.
Mhm.
This
Oh,
is
I
not
took
about
goosebumps.
nice, right? This is not about nice dancing. This is not about, pretending, like whatever we are doing. Like, listen, let's be honest, when we know that we are recording for Instagram, we suck the belly in and we like do our hair and, like we move differently. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
This is just you and your body and your emotion. What does the frustration wants to move through like? What does the anger wants to move through like? Feel it and express it through the movement. It's not linear. The
Mhm.
masculine, it's linear, it's steps, it's 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, right? Whatever it is, it's the rhythm. That's the masculine, and it's beautiful to marching to that sometimes. But if you want to activate the feminine, if you want to get into that receptivity, then you get to go into the chaotic. Yeah, so that's what I love doing.
And already I'm like making a mental note. Okay, after this podcast interview, I'm going to go move through some emotions because I felt frustration today. My little girl didn't sleep last night. She's getting her molars in. And I'm like, how am I supposed to show up as the highest and best version of myself for a podcast when I am so flippin' tired? Like, so I am going to go do that right after this interview. So there are so many moms that have connected with me saying maybe they want to invest in something. They want to create liberation for their family. They want to have abundance for their family, but they don't know where to start because we don't have all the time in the world, right? You and I have kind of figured out, okay, we're going to do it in those 2 to 3 hours a day of the nap time. But for
Mhm.
moms who are maybe just taking this leap, who are having that vision in their mind of, I want to create the abundance for my family. I want to retire my husband, right? That's a goal for you and I. We want to retire our husband and we are just supporting our family. What are those steps that these moms can take in addition to taking your horse? Because that's going to be so powerful. In addition to that, what are some steps that moms can take to, take that leap and to create that abundance for their family?
Such a powerful question. And I really wish that there would be like, oh, let me just give you 1, 2, 3, you do this, and it's guarantee that you're going to create the overflow for your family. I really wish it would be that simple. However, I want to share with you something that I feel like no matter where you are, if you already have a business or if you're just starting, to have a business, um, I the method that I'm teaching, and this is my different course that it's starting on 7/7, which is our. It's so funny. It's not funny, but I'm launching 2 courses on anniversary of our twins. It would
Oh,
be like it was, their.
was that planned or just somehow synchronistically?
It's well, I didn't plan my miscarriage. That's one, right? On the
Yeah.
7/7 happening. But then I just wanted to launch in July. And anytime I'm launching something or doing something, it's the numbers that feel good. I'm like, it's just 7/7. And the mini course, I just finished it yesterday. I'm like, it's going to be up on 7/7 too. So and I want to honor our twins, just I
Mhm.
wanted to honor the energy with life. So I wanted to be giving life to mamas. And my other program called Fearlessly Free. So the method that I'm teaching is 4 steps. And the first steps is you get to really learn to follow your own blueprint. Because very often, like in the past, when I hired coaches, they were teaching me what worked for them. So they tell me, like, oh, do the Facebook ads or do these funnels or hire a team of like freaking 5 people or whatever it is. It was just like they were sharing with me like, hey, this is what I did and do it and then you will be successful. And guess what? It never worked for me. I always learned something and I always grew, but it never worked for me to create sustainable income.
Mhm.
So the first is follow your own blueprint. Really look in your human design and really deeply understand who you are, who you came here to be, and like learn to embody the basics. I always teach my clients the first 3 basics. What is your design? What is your authority? What is your strategy? When you learn to embody these 3 things, then I can go deeper with you and I can tell you where to look at your human design, like your identity or your like where you can look at your definition, like what type of programs and content and messaging you can create so the content is actually selling for you. So first you get to own who you are and look at your blueprint and look at your human design. The second piece that I'm teaching is resetting, like you have to really reset and rewire your nervous system so you can easily receive the bigger amounts of money. So again, that is the somatic work. That's resetting your nervous system so you are really feeling safe. What is your relationship with money? And you know me, Emily,
Mhm.
relationship with money and money, it's what I'm teaching in every and each of my courses
Yeah.
because it is so crucial to have a relationship with money, to really dive deeper into just like, hey, I want more money because I want to retire my husband. I want more money because I want to take my family to a beautiful vacation. Well, it goes deeper than that, right? So understand what is your relationship with money, but two, also you get to reset and nurture your nervous system. When women do like, I used to do retreats, I don't do now with the little one anymore, but I'm starting to do again VIP days, which is 1 day with me. And that's just so deeply transformational. I truly believe that when we are in proximity, really deeply focused intentionally, we can accomplish in few hours what we would normally do for weeks.
Yeah.
So resetting your nervous system by nurturing too. Because when clients come to me and they're like, well, I want to make more money, And Emily, you know, it happens when you started to work with me. I ask you, what are you drinking? What are you eating? You're still doing coffee. You're still shocking your nervous system. Like you want to
Funny you
receive,
brought that up
you
because I
want
was
to
going to
receive
mention
your
it.
money and your body, it's in constant stress.
Yeah.
How do you want to, because receiving more money, meaning you need a more energetic space.
Yeah.
You cannot do that if you're eating fast food and if you're not eating nurturing, life-giving foods. Like this is pure watermelon. You know what I mean? It can be as simple as that. Is this life-giving? Is this life-taking? It's nurturing your nervous system. Nurture your adrenals. Snack for your adrenals. You know, I
Mhm.
love following Medical Medium. Like he has, you know, variety of adrenal snacks. It's so amazing. And especially as mamas, come on, like we're 24/7 on like, let's keep this baby alive. Oh, she
Right?
like, oh my God, we want them to sleep. And then they fall asleep on our boob. And we're like, is she breathing? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like they're 5 seconds quiet and we're like, oh, is she okay? And then we move and they cry. I'm like, all right. So it's your nervous system, it's getting shocked all the time. Calm it down.
I wanted to mention something about that before you continue, because I actually watched a Gaia episode recently and it mentioned your relationship with money is your relationship with everything else. And it brought me back to our working with you and the blocks that we went through with money. And I realized even still, I was like, okay, how is my relationship with money? Okay, I'm avoidant because I remember when you worked with me in my program, I didn't accept your money for a couple of days. And you had even
I'm
mentioned,
like,
hey,
hey,
no, like, why
take
aren't you
my
taking
money.
my money? Take my money. And then I realized, oh my God, like this is affecting all the areas of my life. If I'm avoiding money, well, then no wonder I'm not holding on to it, right? No wonder it's just like I hold on to it and then it goes away. Somehow it just goes away. Like other unexpected bills comes up or you have to pay for something and it just goes away, right? And it's because the nervous system regulation, the beliefs around money, your relationship with money. And so working with you helped transform so much of that. And I think it's so important to, yeah, have that calm nervous system because if you receive money, you can also receive more happiness. You can receive more help with your baby. You can receive more opportunities to rest. Like you can receive so much when you heal your relationship with money, when you calm your nervous system. So sorry to interrupt you, but I have to make that point that is so important. And I love that you're teaching this.
Girl, be unapologetic. It's your show. You can do whatever you want. And it was very, very respectful. So I love that. Because you know I'm so passionate about what I'm teaching and how much
Yeah.
it can impact that you know me. I'm like, I want to squeeze everything I can tell you in such a little time. And how much can I really teach you in 30 minutes, right? That's
Yeah.
why I have my courses. But the third step, it's the embodiment. It is so important. And I had to learn it and relearn it and relearn it again because each level of you will require a different, like each different level income is going to require different level of you. So I really teach my clients the method on how to embody to receive so you can expand the capacity practices. You know, you have experienced some of them because when my clients really start the embodiment, they 3 to 10 times their income because it's really about who are you being in this moment, and would that version of you that makes 10, 20, 50K a month do the same thing? Would she feel this way? Would she decide this way? What is it?
Mhm.
How can you embody that future version of you? And the future version of you, it's not better version of you. She just knows more. She just experienced more. So she is calmer. She's more decisive. Just think about it, Emily, who we are today and who we were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So it's so important, like bringing in the embodiment piece. And the last but not least, what I'm teaching in my Fearlessly Free is to elevate. You really get to elevate yourself so you can bring in high ticket clients, and it's just like all like it's like a beautiful buckets from one it pours into other and other. You cannot do the strategies, you know, if you didn't do the embodiment. You cannot do the embodiment if you didn't reset and rewire your nervous system, and if you don't know who you are, well, what are we even talking about, right? So the last but not least piece, it's really elevating yourself to really understand like who you are and how do you want to do things in your business. Because in the past, I would hire coaches who had what I wanted, but what I didn't look at, how did they get there?
Yep.
So we get to really look at how can you do things in a way that it's authentic to you? How can you get supported with people who really align your values, who are wild mamas like you, right? So it's really important.
And that's one of the reasons why I was so drawn to your energy. And I absolutely love working with you and following you. And I'm commenting on all your posts. I'm like, oh my God, yes, I love all of this. Is because like you have the reality that I am striving for, in the sense that the way you got there was becoming abundant in all areas of your life, not just money. And you incorporate the spiritual, the masculine, the feminine. You are that new earth business coach. And I love that so much because the masculine way, it doesn't work. At least for me, it doesn't work for someone who wants to be lying on the beach and make money. Someone who wants to be doing somatic movement, doing yoga, doing breath work, and having sales come in. That way doesn't masculine way doesn't work anymore, right? And I know my daughter taught me that. The moment I had my daughter, I was like, I can't control anything. All that control out the window. So I have to only get, if I get 2 hours in, great. If I get 1 hour in, great. I have to just go with it. And I have to go with the flow. And working with you had really taught me that it's okay, right? I remember one time I messaged you saying, I think oh, how did I say it? Oh, that I need to be patient on creating my desires. And you would call me out and you're like, no, why? Why do you have to be patient? You can call it in right now. Like, be unapologetic, call it in. And it's shifts like that that worked on a subconscious level, which I know created the massive transformations that I had in my business. And I grew my business. I changed it in January and I've grown it so quickly in such a short period of time. And I made back the investment that I invested in you, both financially, mentally, energetically, everything, because of these kind of practices. The practices, the balancing, the reprogramming, the nervous system regulation, all of this. And so I'm so excited for your program. Can you share us more details about this program and where we can access it?
Absolutely. And this is something that I have never done before because you know me, I love my one-on-ones. I have never done like courses before. And I had to download, I'm like, I don't have to understand it. I just have to show up for it. So I'm doing it. It's called Fearlessly Free. And we are starting actually on 7/7. Like I said, we're starting on 7/7. It's a 4 weeks program where I'm teaching you exactly these steps. Like I said, like I will show you exactly where to look at your human design so you can create magnetic marketing, how to reset your nervous system so you can actually receive bigger amounts of money, and also like teach you the exact practices that I teach my clients to feel really unapologetic about your desires, about how do you want to live, how do you want to build your business, and how to shift your messaging. And also the exact strategies on how to really build your business so it supports your lifetime desires, because it's going to be different for you than it's for me, Emily. So 4 weeks together, 2 live calls with me, and ask me anything, which Emily can attest to. I love coaching. I love making women succeed. So ask me anything. Usually this is accessible only for my clients who are literally paying me thousands of dollars. And you haven't seen it yet, Emily, but I'm actually coming up with a new pricing since July.
Amazing.
So this is like, for me, this is like complete freaking no-brainer because it's only $700. I'm like, normally people cannot even like talk to me for less than that. My clients, they pay a couple grand a month, and the
Mhm.
prices are rising. So it's $700. However, for any single wild mama, I'll send you the link so they can look at it and really see what is included, what's coming in. But for any wild mama who wants to sign up, I want it to be wild. So it's going to be only $500.
Oh, I love that. Wild moms, come forward. Oh, it's
It's going to
amazing.
be really amazing. Like I said, I've never done something like this, and I'm really excited because We were actually with my husband last month at in nature in northern California. So there was a lot of nature, reconnecting, and I got this download, and I really saw the way, the method that only I'm teaching, the way I'm teaching it. So it all really comes together, the energetics, the somatic, but also the business strategy, like you said, the new earth. Business coach, I love that. I wrote it down. I'm like, oh, this is really cool, I gotta write it down. So I would love to have you there. It's going to be life changing. And anytime I'm launching something the first time, I make it really easy to join, but I always raise my prices. Because as I go and I grow, I want my clients to grow too. So it's going to be fantastic. And like I said, the best part, it's going to be in a private small community. I want there to be like intimate small group. And if you come, like I said, you can ask me anything, and I will be super happy to help you to create the overflow and higher income for you, so you can be fully present with your little ones and you can create the memories.
I love all of this. So where can we find you? Where can we soak up more of your amazing tips and healing and activations? Share with us.
My main account is just my name, Petia Kolibova. But the fun, really the fun one, that was my download, and Emily knows where I'm heading. It's
Yeah.
so freaking good. The holistically minded mama, that's the wilds me, ladies.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. I just love it. And it's growing. It's growing so much. Like it's so funny. I just started it. You saw it a couple of weeks
Mhm.
ago, and I had almost like 15,000 reach. It's amazing. Like it's so like come there. Like I'm sharing all my tips as
I loved
like
your post today about the
oh,
breastfeeding.
Sophia
Breastfeeding
did
a
it.
toddler and boobs and legs and everything all over the place.
Sophia did it today, you know. So I'm like, we get to do this. I remember I saw the video, but I couldn't understand it because my baby was a newborn. I was like, this is insane. Babies don't do that. And I couldn't even show everything. So there's not like, boobs all over the screen. You should see her how she was jumping and patting on my boobs. I'm like, this baby is wild. So, ladies, please stay wild. Please stay close to Emily. She is fantastic. She has such a huge heart. I love everything she is teaching, all of the modalities, and I know she will be growing tremendously. So, when I invested in my mentor, Emily, I was so happy I started with her when I did, because she risen her prices so much. I'm like, thank God I started with her when I did. And even though it was a huge stretch for me, and I just reinvested for her to work with her for next 18 months because I want long
Nice.
commitment. It's multiple five figures. So ladies, jump on with Emily. She is fantastic. And the way I see my relationship with Sophia got only so much deeper because of Emily and our work together. So thank you, Emily.
And thank you, Petia. Wild women, wild moms, hop on working with Petia as well, because she changed my relationship with money and creating abundance for my family. So I love all of this, mom supporting moms as well. So thank you so much for being on this podcast and for sharing all of your wisdom. I know I'll be having you on the podcast again, and we'll probably be talking more like the holistic mama stuff, because it's also so exciting. And I want to know more about the juices that you're drinking, because I saw your red juice and I'm like, okay, what's that recipe? I want that. So thank you for being here. And I'm going to add all the links for all the mamas to sign up for your courses, to follow you on Instagram, and to be a part of your world.
Thank
So
you.
thank you. Okay, bye bye.